Hey, what's up, YouTubers? It's formerly Gone Baby Han. My name on YouTube has now changed to Grant F. I kind of inadvertently did this when I was updating my profile. It made me change my name to my channel, so this is formerly Gone Baby Han, but now it's Grant F. is what I'll be known as from now on because my name is Grant, and I won't give any more beyond that because we are on the World Wide Web. So, today, I wanted to talk about a movie that I saw in the cinema this afternoon, which was Baz Luhrmann's Great Gatsby. I'm a huge fan of the novel by the same name by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I mean, it's like one of the greatest American novels ever written. It's really has to deal with just greed, the Roaring Twenties, the Jazz Age, identity, self-preservation. I mean, there's just loads and loads and loads of material and symbolism and metaphors in this, only 170, 180 page novel. Now, how does the movie hold up? Now, uh, I read the book. I was never prescribed this book in high school. I know my brothers were, but for whatever reason, I guess the English teacher I had never prescribed The Great Gatsby. But in college, I did get really curious because I heard a lot of professors talking about it, and so I rented it, checked it out from my local library, and read the book and loved it. I read it like within a few hours. I mean, it's a really short book, but you just get so engrossed in the characters and their lives and just the story just really sucks you in. The first person narrative by the narrator Nick Carraway is really detail oriented with how he describes Gatsby and his world and these lavish parties that he throws. Um, the film by Baz Luhrmann, it's kind of a mixed bag. I went in with really high expectations because I did love the book so much. I did love the source material. Um, but the problem with the film is, a lot of people have said that, oh, Baz Luhrmann, he did Moulin Rouge and Australia and some of these god awful chick flicks. It's not so much the filmmaker that I didn't like. The problem for me was that there were many key scenes from the novel that were not in the movie, like, at all, and some characters that were never shown. And I really felt like because those key scenes were not in there, I really felt like the film did not work or did not deliver as much as I hoped it would. Um, I mean, basically, if you guys don't know the story of The Great Gatsby, definitely go out and read the book. This is going to be sort of a spoiler-filled review, but I will talk. I will spoil the book and the movie some in this review, so I'm just letting you know spoilers now. But so the story of The Great Gatsby is basically the narrator, Nick Carraway, is this young bondsman who moves to West Egg. It's a fictional city um, over in the area of Long Island by New York, and this is in early to mid 1920s. Right before the Great Depression hit, the you know stock market collapse of 1929. Um, and basically, he lives next door to this really eccentric millionaire that he never sees, but he always throws these wild, elaborate parties. There's all these people, these actors, athletes. I mean, just anybody who's anyone famous or important is at his next door neighbor's house. And so one day he gets an invitation, which never happens because most people just show up at his doorstep and expect to have a huge party, drink lots of alcohol. But he just gets this invitation, and what ends up happening is Gatsby specifically bought that house so he could be across the bay from an old flame of his that he loved before he went off to the war. Uh, Gatsby, is a man of secrets and mystery, as Nick finds out. He is not who he seems to be at first, and as the story unravels, you find out that he simply was someone who wanted to attract the attention of a woman, that he felt married to from the first moment that he met her and fell in love with her. It's just a great timeless story. Now the movie does get the gist of this whole plot, and a lot of dialogue, a lot of scenes, key scenes from the book are in the film, but there were several scenes that were not in the film that were in the book that really kind of dragged the film down for me. The first of which being the one that, in my mind, kind of, I guess, irritated me the most was at the end of the novel. Again, this is a spoiler-filled review, just letting you know. After Gatsby has been killed, Nick is trying to call anyone and everyone, including Daisy and Tom, to come to Gatsby's funeral. But of course, these are all just people that just used him for his wealth and didn't see the man, the honest, hopeful man that Nick saw in Gatsby. And of course, no one comes to his funeral. Well, at the end of the book, Gatsby's real father actually shows up, and there's a real touching scene where he shows Nick this schedule that Gatsby made when he was in his younger years, and there was stuff on there, talking about try to be, save your money, work on not being as selfish, honor my mother and father more, or something like that, or be nicer to my mother and father. And it was just really just a great scene, because it just really showed you that even though Jay Gatsby was, a kind of a fraud. I mean, he was a fraud. He still was a good person. He had good morals, and he had a good heart. And he was just infatuated with a woman, and it brought about his demise, unfortunately. That scene was not in the movie at all. It just shows Nick at the end. Tobey Maguire plays Nick at the end of the film. And that scene was completely left out. Also, there's several scenes between Nick and Jordan Baker, who is she's a famous golfer at the time, and she was a love interest, kind of a small love interest to Nick, and it's even hinted that they hooked up at one point in the book, but their romance is never hinted at. Like, they're just casual friends in the movie, and I feel like that would have made the movie a little more interesting, because he talks about how dishonest of a person she is and how she lies a lot to get attention from men. And I thought that could have been a really interesting, character arc that could have been put into the film a little better. And I mean, there's just several scenes that were in the book that I really enjoyed that just did not make its way into the final cut of the movie. I mean, maybe when it comes out on Blu-ray, maybe there will be like a director's cut where maybe they'll show some deleted scenes, which would be nice. But the fact that these key scenes did not make their way into the final finished product is kind of a letdown. The highlights of the film are definitely by far the highlight of the film to me is Leonardo DiCaprio's performance as Jay Gatsby. He is fantastic. I really feel like he nailed the charismatic persona of Gatsby, and how everyone who had met him just loved him and thought he was just so charming. But he also showed a really vulnerable and dark side to Gatsby that the book really emphasized on, and how he, that scene where he's supposed to have Nick invite Daisy to tea, and while they're waiting for her in the film, and it's like this in the book too, he's real nervous, he can't sit still, he's like, this was a bad idea. And Leonardo he just nailed that scene perfectly. It was so well done. I really liked Joel Edgerton as Tom Buchanan. He was such a dick in this movie. I just wanted to spit at the screen. He was just so despicable. And nothing against Joel Edgerton. I love him. He's a great actor. He's fantastic in Warrior, which if you guys haven't seen, you should definitely see that. It's a really emotional film that I thought Joel Edgerton and Tom Hardy did a great job in. But yeah, Joel Edgerton, I think the fact that I hated his character so much is just the mark of a great actor, that he was so convincing in that role. Carey Mulligan does a great Daisy, but I don't really feel like she. I don't know, like her acting wasn't bad, but I felt like sometimes she overacted at certain scenes. Like there's some scenes in the book where she would, scream or yell out something, but in the movie it was like exaggerated 10 times. Like she'd just be like, "Oh, I want to go," and I would just be like, "Oh," it was just grating. But overall the film is not it's not a disaster. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's a film. I definitely wouldn't rush out to the theater to see it. I would definitely say just for the performance of DiCaprio alone and some of the costume and set designs, which are just gorgeous to look at, are worth seeing for a rental at least. So you guys let me know what you thought of The Great Gatsby if you've seen it. Hit me back with your comments. If you've read the book and you have some compare and contrast comments, let me know about that as well. Otherwise, I will keep you guys up to date with more reviews, and y'all have a great day.